666.
Time Out Riyadh's Restaurant Awards shortlist for 2022. The nominees have been revealed, Richard. For more than 20 years, Time Out's reviewers have conducted anonymous independent restaurant visits in the region, booking anonymously and paying for every meal in order to establish which restaurants are truly worth diners' times and money. The Time Out Restaurant Awards are the longest-running, most established dining restaurant awards in the Middle East. In 2022, the Time Out Riyadh Restaurant Awards will be held for the very first time. Following 12 months of anonymous restaurant reviews, taking in all corners of the city and the full spectrum of price points and dining experiences, Time Out presents a short list of 150 of Riyadh's best restaurants across 17 categories. The winners will be revealed September 15th, Richard.
I want to see that list, but this is extraordinary. You know, we throw in, like in our daily review, Sustic review, we'll throw in, I think recently, for example, just what the top streaming shows are in Saudi Arabia. And what I do that in part just because it's always striking, because it's very much like what we're watching. You know, when I look at that list, I'm going, well, I'm watching half these shows. Last week, we talked about the opening weekend gate for Bullet Train, and the International Saudi Arabia was listed. And the larger point being is it was notable just because Saudi Arabia is in the list. You know, they've come from nowhere and now they're actually a viable market for cinema. So, I mean, two things on this Time Out Riyadh report. Time Out has been doing this for 20 years throughout the region. They've never done it in Saudi Arabia, and there's a reason why. I mean, there's not enough there to pick from.
Right.
And now they're doing a short list of 150 of Riyadh's best restaurants, Riyadh's best restaurants, not Jeddah or the Eastern Province, across 17 categories. I looked at the list. It's just amazing. And across, you know, so the foodie culture in Riyadh and Saudi Arabia is exploding.
Yeah, and the categories span a huge range of cuisines. I mean, you've got Italian and Indian and then Japanese, and then you got Saudi cuisine. So, I mean, if you think about it, if you are running a Saudi restaurant and your name gets on this list, and then if you win this competition, you are going to see a huge surge in business. I mean, if you're going to Riyadh as an international businessman or as a tourist these days, and you look up best Saudi food restaurant in Riyadh, and this thing comes up, I mean, you're going to want to check it out. So that's really cool. Another category, Richard, is afternoon tea and also cake.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Cake. Those are good pulls. That's right.
Yeah.
When do we see the first Michelin starred restaurant in Saudi Arabia? Have we had one?
That's a great question. I don't know if we have. You would have to assume it would be awarded to an authentic Saudi food restaurant. I mean, Richard, you and I love Najd Village, which is in Riyadh, and really gives you the Moi Authentico experience when you're there. You get the full sit down. It's really great. So hoping that they're in the mix because their food rules. But this is really cool. I mean, this is just more modernization, really, is a way to describe it.
So apropos to nothing, Jane and I went to a trivia night last night in a brewery near here. And can you answer this question? So in William Reed is like Michelin. They rank restaurants all over the world. And in the top 50 restaurants last year, how many of them were in France in the William Reed run?
I would say, and I could be way off, so maybe I'll edit this out, but I would say half of them are. I know that they have a crazy number of Michelin stars. What is that?
They have Michelin stars, yeah. So I guess I don't know. I guess something like that. I guess something like 22 or something like that. Zero.
Really?
Yes, zero. And I guess that maybe there's different criteria, but it also because there's competition all over the world now. But again, from the original question of when would get a Michelin starred restaurant in Riyadh, maybe I'll have to check to see if there's a William Reed starred, restaurant in Saudi Arabia.
That's a great trivia question if you're looking to, thin out the potential winners, because I think most people would not guess zero. That's kind of incredible.
One person got it right out of 30. this is in groups. So I don't, and that was just a wild guess, I'm sure, unless they
had their cell phone under the table. Yeah.
Unless they had a William Reed representative there, rating that brewery.
Well, and it's going to be a while, I think, until breweries are on this list of timeout restaurants in Riyadh. But
especially since the dining fair was a taco food truck next door, which were very good, by the way.
I love taco food trucks. So there you go. I mean, food trucks should be coming to Saudi soon if they're not already there. So
there you go. Yeah.
There's another area of development. This is one of the longest yellows we've had, Richard. It's all about food. What a surprise.